everybody, and welcome to a new podcast. Today's music that I play in the background is from Lady Peach, uh, a, a vegan musician, and she is part of Alice music label. Alice, today we're going to talk about the Animal Rights Day, or NARD. Um, LSD, do you want to introduce yourself more?
Oh, yes. Yes, I will. And thank you so much for having me on your podcast today, Vegaani. I really appreciate that. Um, my name's Alice D, and I'm an author of about 19 books in the vegan space, trying to uh, spread my knowledge of the animal rights and liberation movement to the public. Um, and I'm also the organizer of the 2026 National Animal Rights Day event in San Francisco, which will be because San Francisco has been such a, a nexus of activity for animal rights and liberation. We have a tremendous powerful list of speakers who will be joining us at the event. And I'm here today to talk about that, to talk about National Animal Rights Day and animal rights in general. I've written a book called Why We Care About Animals that covers the sentience, the science of sentience, which is the ability to sense our world and suffer. So that's one, I think, very compelling reason that animals need to be liberated from domination by humans and kept in a loving, compassionate space like we keep our own family.
Yeah. Alice, for the listeners how new to uh, animal, National um, Animal Rights Day, can you share what NERD is at the core and why it has been such a powerful global movement?
Oh, right. Well, NARD stands for National Animal Rights Day, and it's really a global moment of truth, compassion, and the opportunity to speak out in favor of animal rights. Basically, people come together to acknowledge the billions of animals who lose their lives every year and to declare that their suffering matters. I think what makes NARD so powerful is that it blends remembrance with vision and speaking out. We start our event in San Francisco by speaking out. Then we march together as a group to show solidarity. And then we gather in a memorial ceremony to honor the animals whose lives were taken. Finally, we shift into celebrating the freer and kinder world we're trying to create, one that's rooted in nonviolence and respect for all sentient beings. And the NARD events are all a little bit different. They're all organized by different people. They'll be happening in cities around the world on the exact same day, which is the first Sunday in June. And this is going to be, I believe, the 16th annual event that is going to be happening on a global basis. And this helps create a sense of unity and shared purpose with other activists that you can just feel deeply inside you. I think it's a reminder that animal liberation is not a fringe idea, it's a global awakening into compassion.
I see here, so I have the map open right now on my other monitor, and I see indeed there are all of the votes. There are even in India. So, the Philippines, I see even there's one. And there's a few in Japan, and there are a few in Africa. They're really in a lot of places in the world.
Right. I mean, it's pretty amazing to feel that cities across the globe are standing in solidarity for animal rights on the exact same day. And I think it's moving to know that while we're gathering in San Francisco, people in dozens of other cities, from Tel Aviv to Toronto to Sydney, to on every continent, we're holding a ceremony, a memorial ceremony. We're reading the same Declaration of Animal Rights, and we're honoring the same animals being dominated and harmed in factory farms. I think the global synchronicity of this sort of event creates a sense of connection that transcends borders and cultures. It reminds us that compassion is universal and that the desire to end suffering is something shared by people everywhere. When you stand in that awareness with your fellow activists, you feel part of a much larger movement, one that is growing in strength and consciousness each and every year.
This year in San Diego, San Francisco events is part of the World Art Network of NARD gathering. How does this feel to know that cities are, oh yeah, you already answered that one. But how does it feel that you organize that science, and how does it feel that you're a part in that in San Francisco?
Well, it's certainly been an honor to be able to organize the San Francisco event for the movement. I feel as though San Francisco has a tradition of being a forward-thinking and extraordinarily compassionate city. And it's the perfect place for the animal liberation movement to gather. It's been the center of consciousness on this planet as long as I can remember. And as consciousness starts to expand, as awareness of animal suffering starts to expand, it's only natural that San Francisco takes a leading role in the animal liberation movement.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Declaration of Animal Rights, which is what we read, and I hope you're going to share the link, it's declarationofar.org. It's central to the ceremony, the memorial ceremony, and to the speak outs, because it's a moral and spiritual anchor for the movement. It articulates in beautiful wording the fundamental truth that animals are not objects or resources for humans to exploit, but they are conscious beings with inherent rights and interests. The right to live, to be free of domination and unkind treatment, and to not be harmed for food or any other reason. Reading this declaration aloud during NARD is very powerful because it's a public commitment to a different kind of world, one where we extend the same moral consideration to animals that we expect for ourselves. It's central to the rally portion of our event in San Francisco because it transforms the event into a declaration of the future that we're choosing to build together and that many of us have dedicated our lives to making manifest on Earth.
Mm-hmm. I'm having it right now open. Also, the declaration. So people that are listening can see the declaration also right now.
And they can sign it. They can go online
Yeah.
and they can sign the declaration themselves, no matter where they are. So you don't have to go to the event to sign it. You can also sign it online.
Mm-hmm. I will share it also after the stream in the YouTube video for everybody that wants to check it out.
Thank you. That'd be perfect.
Your organization, We Care About Animals, has been interested in outreach and education. How does this grassroots work connect with the message of mission and spirit of NERD?
Oh, well, people who sign the Declaration of Animal Rights tend to care about animals. I mean, that is what, why we're in the movement.
Yeah.
We feel a sense of community and collaboration and shared sentience with our fellow creatures.
Yeah.
So We Care About Animals is a grassroots organization, and it's really about raising consciousness. We help people see animals as individuals with inner lives, emotions, and relationships. And that mission aligns perfectly with NARD, which is essentially a global consciousness raising event. NARD opens people's hearts through speech, group movement, ceremony, and truth telling. And We Care About Animals helps keep that awareness alive the rest of the year through education, outreach, and community. Whether it's through our website, our substantial Facebook group that is very active and discussing elements of animal rights, or in collaboration with groups like Direct Action Everywhere, Anonymous for the Voiceless, and the Save Movement, we are working to create a culture where compassion is the norm, not the exception.
That sounds lovely. And I hope it has inspired a lot of people, and I hope it will inspire more people. Also, the group to go vegan.
Yeah, I think you've been a member of the group for years, haven't you?
Yeah, but I have not been much on Facebook anymore for some time.
Oh, okay.
So I've been more on Discord, and I've been more on Blue Sky, but I haven't been there for a lot. I've been mostly on Discord, I think, last couple of, I think last year. Um, Alice, you write extensively about the science, animals' sentience in your books. Why do, uh, the science of sentience deepens the moral and spiritual foundation of narrative. You say,
Oh,
yeah.
right. The science of sentience. Okay, the science of sentience. I really feel as though it deepens the moral and spiritual foundation of National Animal Rights Day. Um, and I write about it extensively in my book, Why We Care About Animals, because it confirms what many of us are always intuitively felt, which is that animals experience joy, fear, grief, bonding, anticipation, and even trauma. When you understand that, the moral argument for animal rights becomes undeniable, and the spiritual argument becomes even deeper. Sentience means that animals are subjects of their own lives, they are not objects for human use. NARD is built on that truth. In other words, that animals are conscious beings whose lives matter, and the science of sentience and the ethical responsibilities we have to other sentient beings give people a framework to understand that this isn't just an emotional stance, it's a factual one.
In your book that we also did do a podcast about, why vegan, you're exploring why people who care about animals must live in alignment with that care. How does NERD help people bridge the gap between their compassion and their actions?
Well, I think NARD creates a moment of clarity. When you hear others speak out compassionately about their work in the animal rights movement, when you march together with fellow activists and then stand together in silence and honor the animals who have suffered, you can no longer hide behind convenience or habit. It becomes very clear that compassion isn't just a feeling. but instead it's a responsibility we all share. NARD helps connect the dots for people between their values and their choices, and it does so gently through truth and community rather than guilt. Many people leave the event with a renewed sense of alignment with the movement, ready to take steps toward living in a way that reflects their care for animals.
A faceless hand takes and kills my kin, but I'm still trapped as my life grows dim. Screams
NARD,
echoing
NARD is known for its emotional depth. The memorable silence, and then certainty. Certainty. Why do you believe a collective grief is such essential part of awakening to animal liberation?
Well, that's a good question. I think collective grief is really powerful because it breaks through the numbness that society has conditioned into us in order to allow us to purchase products made by animals. When we allow ourselves to feel the hugeness of what animals endure, the pain, the suffering, the slaughter, and we do it together, something shifts in our consciousness. Our grief becomes a catalyst for our compassion, and our compassion becomes a catalyst for action and activism. Again, it's not about memorial ceremonies are not about despair. It's about facing the truth, facing the reality of what animals are suffering in factory farms each and every day. And when that grief is held together by caring people and community, I think it transforms into solidarity and courage for further activism. It basically becomes the emotional foundation for liberation of all sentient beings.
each step
It's lovely. I agree.
chasing homes that never
This year's celebration includes animal liberation, and it may all being live in happiness and freedom by Lady Peace, Serena's song, and Grat- Grateful Airplane. What does this song means to you, and why does it include for the event?
Oh, well, May All Beings Live Happy and Free is a beautiful song. It was put together by Lady Peace, Sister Soul, and Grateful Airplane. And it's a new anthem for the animal liberation movement. I think it captures the essence of what NARD is all about, of the vision of a world where every being, human and non-human, can live together in peace and freedom. The song is uplifting, it's beautiful, it's soulful, and it carries a message based on an ancient Buddhist prayer that resonates deeply within the heart of the animal liberation movement. We chose it because the music has a way of reaching people emotionally in a way that mere spoken words sometimes can't. After the memorial, when people are feeling, touched and open emotionally, this song will help lift the energy into celebration and remind us of the beautiful world we're working toward together.
The music has also been played in role in social movements. Do you, how do you see music and um, guitar help people open their hearts to the truth of animal suffering and positivity of liberation?
Well, music has been used for many years in movements, and it really does help people open their hearts to the truth of animal suffering and the possibility of liberation. I think Lady Peace's really touching album "Liberation" is an amazing contribution to that genre, and because she sings from the point of view of animals trapped in factory farms. The song "I Am Not Food" just touches me so deeply. And I think that, by bypassing the intellect and going straight to the heart, music helps soften us. It helps open us and allows us to feel things we might otherwise resist. And in the context of NARD, music helps people move from grief to hope, from heaviness to vision, into constructive movement for the animals. A song like "May All Beings Live Happy and Free" carries a vibration of compassion and unity that helps people feel the possibility of liberation is real. It's not just a thought. It's a reminder that this movement is not only necessary, it's beautiful, it's kind, it's a reflection of what we all want for ourselves. So I think the song is incredible, and I really uh, want to send out my greatest thanks to these artists for putting it together.
You speak about internalizing consciousness. How does NARD help people understand the liberation of animals, humans, and the earth are not separate circles, but one unified movement?
Well, I think when you witness the suffering of animals, you start to see the patterns. You see domination, exploitation, commodification. And then you realize those same patterns harm humans and the earth. When we apply the key ethical principles like the Golden Rule, we realize that we would not like to be treated like animals are being treated right now in factory farms and slaughterhouses. Um, NARD helps people see that liberation is not just a single issue cause, but a shift in consciousness from separation to interconnection. When we free the animals, we free ourselves from the mindset that causes suffering in every direction. It's really all one liberation movement. We are all animals, and we all wish to be free.
Um, the mention of memorials for potential of nerd is visibly powerful and emotional intense. But do you hope people experience eternal during the movement moment of silence and truth telling?
Well, I think, people, I hope that people experience a personal awakening. Um, I think in the shared silence, in the ceremony, in the moment, people look around and realize that others feel what they feel. Their personal awakening is contagious. When one person opens their heart, it gives others permission to do the same. And NARD creates a container where that personal awakening can happen safely and powerfully and lead to, in our view, a collective awakening. People come in as individuals, but they leave feeling part of something much larger, a collective consciousness that is rising. And I hope they experience truth, not guilt or shame, but the truth of their grief in the memorial. When people allow themselves to truly see what animals endure in factory farms, and they do so coming from a space of compassion, that shift happens inside them. And I hope they feel connection, empathy, and a sense of responsibility for their fellow creatures that comes from love rather than fear. So the memorial is a moment of profound honesty, and I think that that honesty is transformative.
This year's speakers lined up, including inc- lineup includes Dr. Will Tudor, so Resambar, Leah, Wilbrom. I don't know how to pronounce that name.
Mayoko.
Okay.
Mayoko.
And okay, from what place does that name come?
It's Japanese.
Okay. What does each of those voices bring to the message of liberation?
Well, these are amazing people, and these are just some of the speakers. We'll have a roster of about 20 speakers, but these are the ones that these people are the ones that people will probably know the best. Dr. Will Tuttle has been in the movement for decades now. He brings the deep spiritual and philosophical foundation, the understanding of how our treatment of animals shapes our consciousness from his decades of activism. While Zoe Rosenberg brings courage and direct action, she shows what it looks like to confront injustice head on, and has participated in open rescues. She also runs Happy Hen Sanctuary for hens. And Leah Wilburn from In Defense of Animals brings the legal and ethical perspective, advocating for animal rights and protections for farmed animals. Finally, Mayoko Shinner, well, she brings the visionary entrepreneurial spirit. We've probably all seen and enjoyed her products in the grocery store, and proving that compassion and innovation can transform entire industries. She also runs Rancho Compassion, her animal sanctuary. And I think together these people create and the other speakers who will be speaking along with them create a full spectrum of liberation for non human animals that we're trying to bring together.
You being you're being vegan and vegetarian for over 4 decades, and I'm activist for many years. How has this understanding of animal of liberation evolved, and how does NERD affect the evolution?
Well, I'd say that in the beginning, liberation felt like a moral stance that was aligned with personal freedom and a simple recognition that harming and tightly confining animals against their will was just wrong. Over time, it became more of a spiritual practice for me, a way of living in alignment with heartfelt compassion. And now, as I get more involved in visible activism, it feels like a collective awakening, something much bigger than any one person. NARD, as a global event, NARD reflects that evolution because it's not just individual activism like the vegan boycott, for example. This is about bringing people together in ceremony, community, and raising awareness by speaking out. In my view, it's the animal liberation movement maturing.
Many people feel overwhelmed by the scale of animal suffering. What will you say to someone who feels the problem is too big for their individual actions to matter?
Well, I would say that every movement in history began with individuals who chose compassion over convenience. Your actions in boycotting the cruelty of factory farms and speaking out for the animals really matter because they ripple outwards. They don't just influence your own behavior, but they also influence your family, your friends, and your community as a whole. When millions of individuals make compassionate choices, the world changes. So, overwhelm is just a sign of caring, but action is how you fix it. It's the antidote. So start where you are and trust that your compassion contributes to a much larger global shift. And that's what NARD is about. NARD is about demonstrating that this is not just a local movement. This is not just about San Francisco. This is about the entire world coming together and speaking out in favor of animal liberation.
I'm not your property. I'm not your pet. Not a commodity.
NERD is not just a project, it's cultural and spiritual interference. Interference. How do you see it responding to the moral imagination of society?
Well, I think NARD helps reshape the way society imagines animals. And we invite people to imagine animals as beings with their own lives, their own families, their own friends, their dreams, just like we have. I mean, I think that alone helps reshape the moral and ethical imagination of people who participate. When you expand your circle of compassion, which is the group of beings that you care about, to include all sentient beings, you really can't go back. Once you care, you care. And I think NARD plants seeds. NARD helps plant seeds of empathy, seeds of truth, seeds of liberation. And those seeds start to grow. They grow in ways we can't always see immediately, but they grow nonetheless. And this helps us grow a garden of compassionate beings on our planet.
The the global nerd website describes the event as a memorial and celebration of lives of animals. How do you personally hold those two and he energies, grief and hope at the same time?
Well, for me personally, I hold them the same way you might hold the memory of someone you love. When you go to their funeral after they passed away, you grieve. You grieve what they endured. You grieve that they're no longer going to be with you. But you also celebrate who they were. You remember the happy times. And so I think grief and hope are not opposites. They're companions, and that one gives depth to the other. So during NARD, I allow myself to feel the sorrow fully. And then I allow myself to feel the vision of liberation and the hope for animal liberation just as fully. And I think that balance is what keeps me grounded and why I think NARD and its memorial are so powerful.
That's an interesting way to cut it. I have always trouble with grief, so personally. You spoke about the importance of truth telling. in the moment. What's true about animals, society, and ourselves do you hope NERD helps to bring it into the light?
Oh, well, at NARD, I really hope that people see that animals are conscious beings with inner lives. I hope they see that our society has normalized violence without even questioning it. And I hope they see that compassion is our natural state and we just have to return to it and open our hearts. NARD is a moment of truth telling, and truth is the foundation of liberation for all sentient beings.
Chains on my legs are what I haven't seen. My heart and soul yearn just to be
Um,
free.
for people who want to get involved beyond the movement, talk activism and community or education. What pathway do you recommend, and how can they contact We Care About Animals?
Oh, well, there are so many ways these days to get involved in the animal liberation movement. You can do a Google search, and there are many very reputable organizations that you can join forces with. Groups like Direct Action Everywhere, for example, the SAVE movement, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, or PETA, and of course the group that I founded, We Care About Animals. You can also get involved in organizing a NARD event in your city if there isn't one already being organized there, or help the organizer, the lead organizer, if there is already one. So basically, if you live in a major city, you can join in local activism, you can support sanctuaries, you can volunteer, you can educate, or simply just start conversations like Anonymous for the Voiceless does. And of course, people can connect with We Care About Animals through our website, www.wecareaboutanimals.org, our Facebook group, um, and our Facebook page. So we really welcome anyone who wants to help create a more compassionate world to join us. And the movement grows through community.
Looking ahead, what is your vision for the future of NER, and both in San Francisco and globally?
Well, my vision is that NARD becomes a cultural milestone, that a day recognized around the world as a turning point in our relationship with non-human animals. I see the movement behind NARD growing, deepening, expanding, and becoming a global ceremony of liberation for all sentient beings. I see it inspiring new generations of activists, artists, thinkers, and leaders who will carry the animal liberation forward into the next decades. We are growing, we are on the side of kindness, and that is what we need to bring into the future.
And finally, Alice, what does may all beings live in happy and free means to you? Do you not as lyrics in the new animal liberation anthem by Lady Peace, starring a song and grateful airplane, but as a guiding principle for your life and work.
Well, I really do think it is a guiding principle. I mean, to me, this new animal liberation song by Lady Peace, Sister Soul, and Grateful Airplane that includes this powerful phrase is a prayer, a vision, and a promise to our fellow creatures. It means recognizing that every being, human or non human, wants the same thing: safety, joy, freedom, and connection. It means living in a way that honors that truth and honors kindness. It means choosing compassion again and again, even when it's inconvenient. And it means believing that a world where all beings live happy and free is not only possible, but it's our responsibility to create it for the benefit of all sentient beings, which is a powerful sense of purpose and a reason to live.
That is all nice. I hope and wish you full success with the events and next Sunday. And hope everything is going well. So I hope a lot of citizens also will join all and will inspire more people to stop harming animals.
Well, thank you so much for having me on your podcast, Vegaani, and I hope you and everyone listening will join with us in prayer for a kinder world where all beings live happy and free.
Is there something else you want to say before I end the stream?
Go vegan.
Yeah, that's the best way to help the animals, everybody.
Well, that's something that everybody can do with their personal, right now,
Yeah.
easy. Go to the store, and when you're making choices, make kinder choices. Make the kindest choices.
Namaste.
Namaste.